So the hardest part of this album to write was the beginning and then the end. You know, it's always a nightmare knowing how to start something. You know, once you get going, it's great. And the problem was, you know, everything I wrote, I was comparing to the beginning of Tubular Bells. And I was like, oh, it's not as good as Tubular Bells, not as good as Tubular Bells. So I spent months. You know, I spent like 4 weeks writing the whole album and about 2 months trying to write this first 3 minutes. And nothing sounded as good. Every time I played the piano riff, I thought, oh, it sounds like Tubular Bells, can't do that. So I just had to accept the fact that I was never going to write anything as good as the first 5 minutes, you know. Well, in my opinion, it's not, because I think it's untouchable, that first 5 minutes. It's almost like Beethoven's Fifth, the opening of that, you know, it's so iconic. You're never going to beat it, and it's over the years, it's just become, you know, accepted as an iconic piece of music. So you know, you're never going to match that. So I just had to, right, okay, let's do something completely different. And they ended up writing this sort of like little overture thing. So you ease into it and you get this little theme, and then the album starts and kicks off and you're away with all electric guitars. So that worked finally. So that was a relief. And then the end, again, you never quite know how to end an album, you know, because it's like two 20-minute pieces of music. You don't want to end it with the obvious. So again, I wrote loads of endings, and you know, originally it was just going to go bang, like a big sort of, you know, symphony work, bang, big bombastic ending. I thought, oh, it sounds cheesy. It's obvious, but it's cheesy. So I came up with the idea of taking the beginning of the album and sort of reprising that, so it ends with a big bang, and then it fades back into the beginning, so it just ties it together. And again, I sent it to Tom Newman, and I said, you know, I'm struggling. What do you think of this new beginning? Because we nearly finished the album. And he said, oh, you know, the beginning you have with the end you got with the big bang, that's great, he said. Sounds like a bit like a military band, he said, the obvious one. But the other one, he said, is a bit more self-indulgent, but it's lovely, he said. It's beautiful. So that's the version to go with. So I was like, great. So, you know, it was just great to have this person to sound off, really, and with advice.